What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Art of War. I'm Richard Siegler. I'm joined by Michael, the man, the greatest hair in 40K.
That's right.
He's awesome.
I do have the best hair in 40K.
He does.
Guys, I've been reading your comments about hair tips, so I've stopped brushing it. Okay, I've stopped. I only hand comb it now. That's what I've learned, and you can't see the curls they're working.
It is working.
It's luscious. It's working a little bit better now. The top of the hair is. I'm working on it, okay, but we're gonna get there, okay.
Yeah, if you have recommendations for shampoos and other sorts of like mousses and whatnot,
I know. Heather bought a product recently. What was it? It was she puts it in my hair after I don't know what it's called. I'm sure somebody knows what it's called. I don't know. It's something I don't know. Curl something.
Magic curls. So welcome in. Today we are going to be discussing stats for Warhammer 40K because we had the first full weekend of 11th edition events. Mm-hmm. There were enough events, enough games played that we have a little bit of an inkling of data. Certainly early days, this is going to change, but we're going to kind of go through some of the stats, and then we're going to also look at a big team event that happened, which some of our members went and played at, and that was the ATC, the American Team Championships, where there was a 5-man event and an 8-man event. So we'll look at the winners of those as well as some of the top placings, look at what some of the better players in the U.S. who traveled there were deciding to take faction-wise. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. We're going to try and do these stat recaps every month or so in these live streams. John has been doing a meta recap, and the first one for 11th edition just released on Monday, so you can check that short out as well. We're going to try and consistently do those week to week and then have a bigger one like this for a live stream.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you are joining us, if you like all the content we've been putting out some banger YouTube videos that get your feet wet into 11th edition. The Force Disposition one, ideal Force Dispositions for every army, released on Tuesday. I did that one, but we've got a really big one coming very soon, which may be a faction tier list. I know you've all been waiting for so that'll be... And we've put in the full team effort on it. So it's going to be very different from what you've seen previously, but hopefully you will enjoy it. And if you are joining us here, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow. In addition, if you want to see more content from us, like battle reports, we put out 3 every single week. Today's battle report is Space Marines versus Thousand Suns, 2 of the top armies in the game going head-to-head.
Oh, I played that game.
You did play that game, and those armies are very, very strong right now, and you can go check that game out. Either click the join button here on YouTube, and Gold Tier gets you access to all that content, including that game, or you can head over to thewarrant.vhx.tv for the 3-day free trial. And with that, you can also get access to our international Discord community where there's a lot of new people joining, as well as a lot of veteran players talking 40K nonstop. It's a great, friendly place, and I'm in there as well. Michael's in there. We're all hanging out, having a great time.
Yeah, I love the Discord. We actually talk quite a bit in there about our factions, list updates, answer questions, so on and so on and so on. It's one of the more, it's the easiest way to access for certainly, right?
Yep. It's just a positive community. I mean, everybody loves to learn, and we are the place to do it. So let's go ahead and head over to the stats now and kind of break down what's going on here. Now, of course, the caveat with stats always is going to be there's a limited number of games played so far. In a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of games, thousands of games even, and that is going to really start to shape our perception. But right now, everything's early days, like what force dispositions people are leaning towards, what list archetypes, if they're leaning on these stat checks that we've seen, defilers, for instance. So let's go ahead and work through these stats, starting off at the top here with Drukhari at number 1. And they have a 69.23 win rate. It is only 6 players total. That's 26 games. But they had 2 X&O/X&1 results. One of those was, a good size event. So Drukhari is not an army I would have expected to see immediately out of the gates at the top.
No.
One of their strongest play styles, which was the Reaper's Wager, is linked to Purge the Foe, which is certainly not an ideal for Drukhari unless you are literally tabling your opponent, like a Liam VSL. If you're not, you're going to give up a lot of kills, and it's going to be hard to secure some of the kills that you're looking for in the early game. So very interesting there. I think Kabalite Cartel has a lot of play. Sky Splinter Assault is seeing a lot of popularity as well. And I've still seen plenty of people going for the Witch Cult detachment, even though its best stratagem was nerfed in the transition from 10 to 11.
It got pretty significantly nerfed. And Spectacle also is Purge as well, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
although it can ally a 1 DP to try and grab something else.
Because I know Cody took that to ATC, and he went 4-1 with it, which is pretty impressive. And then speaking with the single stats for Drukhari, like really shocked me, because we got team stats pretty quickly from the weekend on like either Sunday night or Saturday night or something along those lines. And Drukhari were the worst win rate in teams. They were the worst army in the game. That they came in at like 30-something% in the teams that weekend. Now, of course, once again, that's skewed because teams a little bit different stat wise, small amount of games stat wise, blah 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 blah. But to see them come in on the
massive disparity,
yeah, it's like it's not even close to each other. I think that's really really weird. It may be that like. Most Drukhari players are going on that recon strategy. That's easily the most popular from what I can tell. It's not the only way you can have to play, but it's the most popular. Maybe in singles, you can kind of get away with it a little bit more because you're playing against more kind of take-all-comer lists. Versus in teams, you have like those rat catcher armies that are like, no.
Oh yeah, we're going to find every little Drukhari
You
model
will not enter all 4 quarters and 2 actions. Like, so that might be the answer there.
Yeah, I honestly have been really enjoying creating lists for Drukhari, but I have definitely felt the pressure of, am I running too many cheap, easy to kill things? Am I denying secondaries well enough? And one of the things that I think is strongest about 11th edition is because you're only looking at 10 or 11 secondary cards, if your opponent draws an overwhelming amount, there's 5 different kill secondaries. If they draw too many of those and you deny them really well, that can win you games by itself. And so I've been trying to design lists that are in that vein. I have one bring it down target, or I have like 2 land forts in my Votann list. You got to be killing land forts, and if you lose your power to kill land forts before you draw bring it down, you're just not getting it. Yeah. Same thing for Necrons. I have like the Silent King as my bring it down target. You don't get them, you ain't getting that card. Same thing for a Grievous Blow target, the new version of Call the Horde. So Drukhari don't really do that denial well, but man, being a fast army is definitely very good in the edition. Orks come in at number 2 at 64.38 with that 15 players, 73 games total. This doesn't really surprise me. Orks are one of the bottom armies in 10th edition, but those points drops, when most armies went up between like 50 to 100 points, it's like a 200 plus point difference.
It's a huge swing, yeah, because Orks went down significantly, like quite significantly. The big thing we're seeing that is getting like used the most at the moment is that Orc Boys went down to 150 for 20 boys. That's too cheap. That's too cheap. So it's really quite nice. They pick up a lot of the 11th edition rules changes really quite well. Is the other big thing for Orks. I think Orks are gonna stabilize. I think people are not ready for that army at the moment. Like, people are ready for Defilers. They're ready for like big knights. They're ready for like super tough elite infantry marines and stuff like that.
Here's all my las cannons, or here's all my anti-tank, and then Orcs show up and like, here's 120 bodies.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. So I do think Orcs are going to remain very, very good. I will be curious to see if they stay in the top echelon. They have enough stuff to do it now, and their new detachments and combos and stuff unlock a much wider range of play for them, which is really quite nice.
Yeah. Do you think Green Tide is the top style, the like kind of anti-meta horde build?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So in singles currently, I'm landing towards that Freebooter crew Mordaka build, where the spoiler, there's like, you still run 20-man boys. I run 40 to 60 boys in that list.
But you got guns.
But I have guns too, and I have the flexibility of putting units into the wall or not in the wall. I think Green Tide in teams, though, in particular, is just like amazing, because you just line it up into whatever you're supposed to, and then it just does the thing, right? So but however, Green Tide maybe is so good that it's just the best singles army too, but time will tell on that one. I'm not 100% sure. Green Tide is very, very strong though, regardless. It's just way too point efficient right now. It's way too
it's a lot of stuff.
Too much stuff. Yeah.
Then next up, we have another army that you play, which is Thousand Sons.
I know, I'm eating so good right now.
99 games, 61.62% win rate, with 20 players here. And the thing about Thousand Sons is their damage output is outrageous in like a 18 to 24 inch kill zone.
Yeah.
11th edition has transformed the game into. And on top of that, the psychic change does help quite a few of their units overall.
Yeah,
in
the
addition
psychic
to
change
stacking AP, they can get rerolls. They're an army that mostly benefits from all the 11th edition changes. There's not too many downsides for them.
Yeah, the only true downside is hidden, honestly, like, because they don't really get to take advantage of hidden, because most of our guns are infantry guns, minus our tanks and stuff. And you want to shoot the units, and then that's like it. You actually can't care about it. Everything else is great. So this is not going to shock me. I think Thousand Suns are going to remain great. They just do everything 11th edition loves.
Secatar robots.
Love Hexbots, dude. Love Hexbots. I think what's cool is we're seeing a variety of builds for Thousand Suns at the moment too, which is nice. Hexbots is my favorite.
And we're seeing that for everybody right now. Like the 2 DP plus 1 DP combos for a lot of armies are opening play styles that we never saw. It really reminds me more of 8th edition when you would look at a faction that was good, and instead of looking at one list archetype that we typically saw in 10th edition, you're looking at like 3-4 different archetypes that you're like, these are totally different. They play differently, but they're the same army and they are all doing well. And I think we're going to see more of that. So I quite like the diversity that I'm seeing. Sisters. Now, I know you're saying on the Force Dispositions. First of all, I was told by Adepta Sororitas experts that Take and Hold was a style, okay? So it wasn't me. It was the experts for Sisters.
Right.
Second of all, 55% win rate. Boom! How about that, Sisters players? Yes, your army is good. So
you could say it's fine.
38. That was 38 games. It was 8 players. They had an above-average win rate here with 55%. And I do think Sisters definitely got hit harder on the point side than some armies, and that was partially due to the fact that Sacrosancts just were still undercosted.
They also would have picked up the 11th edition changes like wildly well.
Really well. So I still think they're a great army. They have very, very impactful rules that are incredible in the edition, and they are another midfield brawler type army where they don't necessarily want to get into like a long-range shootout with Tau or something, although they can in certain times. But they really want to focus on destroying people in the middle of the table, Fallen or Paragons, all the stacking, the strip and cover, the stacking AP. So I think that they really do like that 18-inch kill zone. And their melee styles are better, whether it's the champion style or Nick has been trying out some Penitent Host as well.
Oh, I didn't know he was working on that.
Yeah, he actually ran down a couple armies on it with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Repentia do hit hard if you get hit by them.
Yeah.
Especially when they move like 26 inches. And then we have next up the Emperor's Children, and there'll be a game coming out in the Worms soon where John shows off the Carnival of Excess, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, it's Carnival Excess.
And first of all, Defilers. We didn't mention for T-Sons, but Defilers, that's a unit. It's still really good. It did go up a lot of points. It's still really good. Games Workshop.
More.
The fact is that they were super undercosted, obviously. $250 was an insane price. Please give me the name and number of the person who did that so I can have a long chat with them. But in addition, they also took the changes of 11th edition really well with toe into terrain, wide open spaces to maneuver. In addition, once you get into the middle, you can see a lot of the staging points quite easily.
Yeah.
And the vicious amount of damage. They have a lot of AP1 weapons, which are way better with the cover change. It's just a really good unit, and you're going to see many of the factions that have access to them are still doing incredibly well and still running 1 or 2 of them.
EC are interesting. From the team's perspective on the win rate for them, they were the best army of the weekend. They hit like 70% or something along those lines. It was quite phenomenal. EC are like so good. Like they're fast, they can be everywhere, they have good defilers. Their defilers didn't get hit as hard as the best defilers, which means they're really good. The +1 to hit on the EC defilers is also just like it's pseudo ignore cover. Like that's just really all it is. Like which is a perfectly fine thing to be. And then Carnival XS gives them crit 5 sustained on the autocannons. It's just super. That's a very, very strong army. I saw people were really down on EC at the start of the.
It's crazy because they can. Between the infiltrate and scouting power of their army and how fast they are off the ground, they can just slam into you turn 1, no problem.
Yes, I have experienced that. Yeah, they just teleport to your deployment zone.
They're just there. They trade out their Lord Exultant packages. You were tied up in combat and lost your main scoring units and screens, and now you have to walk into Defiler range with your real units.
You do.
Stuff. Then we have Leagues of Votann, which, to be honest, surprises me a little bit in the fact that Leagues of Votann are one of the armies that are on the slower side. There are a couple faster units with the Hernkin Pioneers and your Capricus Carriers or Defenders, but overall the movement speed of the army and the lack of advance and do things is quite prevalent.
Sure.
So it comes in at 54.55% with 11 players, and I think that Need Guard plus something is going to really do a lot of lifting for Votann because the killiness of that detachment is incredible.
Yeah.
You can't stack stratagems anymore, so having 1 Death Star unit isn't quite as good, but you get the enhancement for +1 to wound and the rerolls. Then you also have a real one-state, one-wound stratagem, and you have the sustained 1 or sustained 2 if you spend yield point stratagems. All of that is incredible offensive output. Meanwhile, you still have a lot of units that can play the mission. I've been really enjoying a recon style, but I've seen people play party assets with Votann. Some people are even playing Purge and going for a more elite stacked up style. It's pretty encouraging to see the early games here for Votann, so I'm really pleased because I've been enjoying playing those games, and I'm going to be playing a couple more coming up.
Yeah, I did see Votann had a nice diversity of builds. I was working with someone on trying to figure out what the list was, and I was like looking around. I was like, wow, there's like a lot of different ways people are playing this army right now, which for an army that is considered inflexible is kind of cool. Like,
when I did my kind of list video for like 2 weeks ago for the War Room, I had like 6-7 different archetypes created, all with different detachment combinations. And I think because Votann, it was kind of Hearthband as the number one option, and then you had a bunch of ones below that. The fact that those ones below it now can add in a really good 1 DP, which Votann have some of the best like useful 1 DPs. There's some really amazing combinations, and I think Leagues of Votann are up there for most diverse, like viable styles.
Yeah, which is cool.
Really cool. Tyranids coming in at 53.85 with, 34 players. So quite a bit of players, 169 games. That is the second highest after
Whoa,
Space
that is
Marines.
a lot of players.
A lot of players. Tyranids have been very popular since they had that Leviathan box set. And this doesn't surprise me at all. I think Tyranids also benefit from the detachment changes. They've got a couple strong 3 DPs, but they have some very, very good 2 DPs like Vanguard Onslaught. In addition to that, they benefit a lot from the Battle Shock changes. Tyranids have a lot of Battle Shock manipulation. Battle Shock, I'm doing 1 Battle Shock, is still going to be very inconsistent. It's not going to be that much better than
Shadows, though.
But when you do an army-wide Battle Shock, when you throw minuses on there, when you get pluses to wound because your opponent's Battle Shocked, when you do all this other stuff, it's really impactful. And if your opponent takes a bad Shadows turn, there is a game that I played against John with Tau, which wasn't on stream. It was like a practice game where I was playing Retaliation Contra. He was playing Tyranids. We're playing a normal game. It's nice and even. He's like, hey, take Shadows in the Warp this turn. I have my Neurotyrant, so you're at -1. I rolled it. I rolled 14 Battle Shock tests. Guess how many I passed, Michael?
1.
Guess what it was on?
It's probably something dumb.
The Ethereal in my backfield.
Yeah.
Every other unit, my Stealth Suits, my Pathfinders, all the damage units failed. And so that was a really bad time because not only did I not get my army roll, my guiding mechanic, but in addition, I also then had to retest the rest, the next turn for all that stuff. It was bad news bears. So I think Tyranids are one of the most improved armies and certainly have a lot of the list diversity as well. Chaos Demons, another army you love.
I love
coming
Demons.
in at 95 games, 53.68%, and 19 players. They have quite a bit of styles, both the stat check and the bodies. Blood Crusher spam. Nick was, what does he call it? Fate Crusher.
Even though it doesn't have Fate Weaver in it.
It's kind of a miss, but we let him we let him have a fun time.
So Demons at the moment, I think this number should go higher. Scintillating Legion is broken.
The puppeteer is crazy. It is crazy.
It's really good.
You can grab Purge easily.
Yeah, I think also the Blood Crusher builds. Okay, so the Fate Crusher build is Bellicor, 3 Lords of Change, 18 Blood Crushers, and I think 10 Plague Bearers. Maybe 1 more Trash Unit or something.
Snurgle or something.
Maybe. That is just unbelievably efficient in terms of what it is doing. There's a lot of just very strong rules there. The fact that Shadow Legion came in as a 2DP. Because as a 3DP, it was just not gonna work. But as a 2DP, it then allows you to pick up some really good rules. I think Demons are very, very, very good right now. So I would not be surprised. I even heard Legion of Excess did well over the weekend.
I heard that as well, which surprises me because I haven't seen it appear
wasn't on my radar
since post-Grotmus.
Wasn't on my radar. So Demons are in a good place, actually. I wasn't saying I was super down on them. I knew the Lords of Change were going to be obviously good, but I was really worried for the rest of the shape of the faction. But it seems like it's actually landing in a great place, so that's good.
Coming in at 6 players, same as Drukhari, is Genestealer Cult. No surprise there. It is one of the rare armies to see. However, they are at a 53% win rate here with 28 games. So small sample size, of course, but it does mean that the better GSC players are going to get value out of this army, and we've definitely seen that the ability to switch to a reconnaissance style, not forced to hold more than one objective each command phase, really helps GSC. In addition, you're rewarded for holding the different quarters of the board, taking your opponent's backfield, something that they're able to do with their resurgence points units. So I quite like seeing Tucker's GSC. I think he has like 4 or 5 different builds he's really excited about.
So many builds, yeah.
So it's good to see that GSC are still doing well and enjoying this edition a bit more than the previous one. Chaos Space Marines. So coming in at 51.56%, only 13 players, which does surprise me because it was such a popular army towards the end of 10th edition and still should be because it was one of the strongest in the game. However, maybe people have a little bit of fatigue playing multiple defilers.
That's right. It can only be so fun for so long, I guess, right?
Yeah. So it's like lower amount of games, but still a very good win rate. And I expect that both the like Renegade Raiders style, the Packbound style, as well as some of the new ones that we've seen. Nick has been experimenting with the Fellhammer Siege Force, comboed with whatever the Murder Talon one. CSM, they still shoot really hard. They got great combat. Chosen units are incredible. Huron and his package of 10 Chosen with the Masters of the Maelstrom is a really difficult to interact with unit that is denying secondaries at the same time. CSM, very strong right now. Grey Knights, an army they were perhaps not thinking about, and they were towards the bottom in 10th edition.
Yeah.
They do suffer from the change of not being able to, if they go second, pull units up end of the opponent's turn, top of 1, and then come back down turn 1 to redeploy. That is a big miss. However, the ability 8-inch deep strike is massive. The screening change where opponents can't just for free screen their backfield the whole game has really opened up Grey Knight's flexibility, and they also love the psychic changes as well. I've been having an amazing time playing Grey Knights, both Warpbane and to a lesser extent Banishers. So I'm very excited about this faction. It's coming in at 51.61%, 12 players, which is pretty good for Grey Knights. Yeah, Grey Knights are a sleeper army.
They're a super sleeper. Yeah.
They're a sleeper army. They have felt really good in the games that I've played, and they are one of the best secondary scoring armies out there.
I don't think they're broken, but I think they're just really good.
Because you can play, it's very easy to get Purge with them. And then, so you play Purge, you don't have to do any actions. Then you get access to the secondary deck where there's only 2 actions. Grey Knights don't want to do actions. It feels great playing them right now. Necrons, another army I play, 50.94%, 33 players, and then 159 games, so a little bit below Tyranids, but very high number of games. No surprise, Necrons have been sitting in that like 50 to 53% win rate for a while. They got some points decreases on lesser seen units, and they got increases on Catan and some of the stronger units. Overall, I think Necrons are incredible. I've been playing them a lot recently, and Folger, as we'll see in ATC, did really well with them. It's a great army. You can play Star Shatter, you can play Awakened Dynasty, you can play Obeisance Phalanx with something, you can play a stat check with Farron's Armory. The game is wide open for Necrons. In addition, the fact that the healing change allows them to manipulate reanimation in a new way, very strong. Yeah, you killed my unit, but my character's alive. Here comes the Warriors again, Michael.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
It's a massive deal. So I think Necrons are sitting pretty. They are, of course, a very popular army, so their win rate, it's hard to get it to like super extreme levels. But I think Catan are pretty balanced nowadays. They are quite expensive.
Yeah, Catan, they're not gone, but they're not like
you're seeing like
one
in the list now, maybe 2.
Which is what it should be. Yeah, so it's good.
It's not 3, 4, 5, 6. Black Templars coming in at 50%, only 7 players for 36 games. And I know Black Templars is an army that hasn't really gotten a tremendous amount of love. And part of that is the fact that their Codex detachments and then their 1DP detachments are not the most interesting. They also have a 3DP Bastion Task Force, so it can't combo with something. However, they play Gladius very well. They are Marines at the end of the day.
They're still Space Marines.
Marine bodies are just cheap for what you get. It's just not as elite an army as you would expect. So very interesting, but the good Black Templar players were definitely out in force this weekend.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see them actually at 50%, so I think that's good.
Now, Deathwatch shows up here at 50% with 10 games played, only 2 players. We saw in the last week's stats that they came in at like 63% win rate.
Sure.
Deathwatch are an army that's played like once or twice a week, and it entirely depends on how strong the Deathwatch player is. I know John is like a little bit down on Deathwatch because they don't play a ground and pound game as well. However, they just have to adjust. I think you drop some of the Fortis kill teams. I think you just need to be able to grind a bit better. So a lot of people have been gravitating towards their Terminators, which is a very good data sheet. So I'm excited to see how the different Deathwatch lists kind of form. We got Blood Angels at 49%, 13 players. This is a little surprising because I think Blood Angels are one of the strongest Marine archetypes because a fast infantry that don't need to shoot to get value, really strong. They have amazing ingress threats. They can play a wide variety of styles. It could be the fact that people are leaning heavier on like a melee stat check and not bringing a mixed style. And I think Blood Angels, like doing Stormlance plus Liberius, I wrote a really cool list that I like for that. Or some of the other styles that bring some amount of gun plus combat. Mixed arms has been the dominant, like the armies that are really performing well, I think.
Yeah, I think Blood Angels generally have a bit of an OC problem, to be honest with you, right? Like you have to kind of go in and dive them. But like there's like a lot of worlds where it's just like, say Orks, for instance, I have 20 boys on it, but maybe I backline the other side of the wall with like 10 Gretchen or something along the lines. Sure, they might go in and kill like a lot of boys, but like I still have whatever amount of OC on the backfield. And Blood Angels at the moment are bad at getting the back one too, right? Because you kind of have to hit them like force to force and then out OC them afterwards. And objectives are so big now, opponents can move so many models on. I'll be really curious to see Blood Angels. Everything about 11th reads to me like they should be good at this. It's almost like EC. This is like very fast moving melee infantry. Yeah, right. Like so. I'll be curious to see where Blood Angels go as time goes on. They're one of the more interesting armies right now.
Aeldari, an army hated by its own players sometimes. 49% win rate. It is 13 players here. And I know a lot of people, certainly in this house and the ones that I've talked to, have been really enjoying Seer Council plus something. But I know Jack has a lot of different list ideas. And, it's good to see Eldar is not towards the bottom, the absolute bottom here. I do think they are a harder army to play, certainly. And, it does take quite a bit of player skill to win with them. But when played well, they are still a scary army. And I think the Seer Council build fits this edition better than some of the other ones did.
I think it makes sense. That's the teleport one, too.
Yeah, you do have an uppy-downy. Yep, you have an uppy-downy. You can free strat a bunch of stuff. And then you have the strong Psyker bricks.
And the flamers are rip.
The flamers are a lot better now.
Oh, that's right,
because they didn't ignore cover, but now they're psychic.
Now they're just torn over,
and then we got Adeptus Custodes coming in with 86 games played at 48% win rate, 18 players. Not too surprising. Adeptus Custodes have the strength of take and hold. Being able to do like Talons, have that 6-inch reactive move, sit there with a bunch of Wardens and say, you have to come to my side of the board, interact with my slower combat units. That feels quite natural to them. I think Custodes aren't great at pushing or necessarily doing tons of actions, but they are very good in the take and hold style, and we've seen people gravitating towards that. So it'll be interesting if people continue to lean on Talons or they go for the Shield Host plus something or Lions plus something combos.
Agreed.
Imperial Knights. This one surprises me. It's only 48.31%, 23 players, 118 games. I think Knights benefit tremendously from the new rules. Imperial Knights in particular, because they shoot harder than Chaos Knights. The ability to tow in, the ability to play the Gate Warden. I wonder how many of these games were played with the Gate Warden Lance versus other detachments.
Yeah, I'd be really curious because Imperial Knights are an army I have a high impression of right now.
Yeah, the double Castellan plus Destriders around or Destriers has looked really, really good when you're doing all the nonsense that you can do along that big line.
Yeah.
So this one surprised me a little bit. I'd expect to be higher because not only are Knights popular, but they're one of the easier armies to not necessarily outplay people, but outstat people in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
100%. If somebody doesn't know how to play against Knights, they'll just lose.
Yeah, you just go up there. If they don't have the tools to deal with it, you just go right through them.
And the Chaos Knights sitting right next to them, which blows my mind because Imperial Knights are so much better than Chaos Knights right now.
It could be the fact that perhaps undervalued. We saw a game that released yesterday, which was Imperial Knights versus Chaos Knights. One of the things that came up is the battle shocks just are more impactful, and Chaos Knights do more battle shock shenanigans. They also still shoot pretty hard.
They do.
With those
triple despoilers still exist.
The despoilers, you probably go double, and then you add in more like John was, but. Ultimately, I think big stat checks with plunging fire, with the ability to do actions and engage range, you can just play out a game with these armies, but your stats can also end a game quite quickly. And Tau, big surprise here. only at 47.33% win rate, 31 players, 150 games, so quite a bit of games. But they did win 4 events. They are the most event wins overall. This is counting 5+ round events. So that doesn't surprise me because I think Tau are really strong right now. However, they are hard to play. I've been on this for a while. John is like, Tau are easy to play, and it's like, you play Marines? No, Tau's harder than Marines. It always has been. Jot that down. But Tau is an army that I think if you don't get the guiding sequencing right, you just don't perform like a normal army would. As soon as you're not +1 ballistic skill, ignoring -1 ballistic skill from the marker light, you just don't do much damage. And if you lose your guiding units early, if you misposition them so you can't attack your opponent's staging points and objectives easily, you will lose games. And I think this is shown here. Like, if you're really good at Tau, it's probably one of the top 3 armies in the game. If you're an average player with Tau or worse, it is a very hard army to play, and that's what's dragging the win rate down here.
Yeah, I think Tau are great. And this is a good case of when win rates aren't everything. Is that Tau is definitely a very powerful army right now. They have very good rules. But you have to execute. If you don't execute, I would consider Tau like a knife's edge army, right? If you don't walk the right side of the knife's edge, you just die on it. And then if you do ride the right side of the knife's edge, you're just like, you can like just shut out your opponents like really harshly. So
then we have Space Marines here coming in with 208 games, 44 players, and 46.33%. Of course, this is aggregate data, so it is all Space Marine players, including all of the new players, which typically does bring Space Marines down, but the stats are not going to tell me that Space Marines are not one of the best armies in the game.
Nope. Their team's win rate was the second highest. They were all the only EC beat them. So, Space Marines are a good guy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Ultramarines are still great. They're still the best way to play the game. You still have +1 wound oath. You still like play 11th like phenomenally well. You ignore cover.
Best action unit in the game, Combi LT.
Yeah, like all your stuff is super cheap. Not all of it, but it's like cheap for what you get.
Yeah, like 5 scouts compared to like 5 Aeldari Rangers is a 5-point difference, and it's just a vastly better unit.
There are so many things about Space Marines that are just like so.
They are really
unbelievably good right now. I think Space Marines are even better than they landed in 10th. I think they're just phenomenal.
The other day I asked John, I was like, so what are you enjoying with Space Marines? And he goes, well, I've been enjoying Blades of Ultramar, Gladius Task Force, Reclamation Force, Ceramite Sentinels. I've been enjoying playing Spearpoint Task Force with Librarius. I've been playing whatever, Forge Seekers.
Literally 500 builds.
He just keeps listing this thing. And that's great for Marine players. Like, you have so many options. They have more detachments than anybody else. But at the same time, I think they were really helped out by the fact that a lot of their cheaper skirmish scoring pieces went down, besides incursors. And that helped balance out some of the smaller increases to their damage output units. Then we have Space Wolves, which you play.
Yeah, Space Wolves. So they're coming at 45% win rate over the weekend. Is that 12 players?
12 players.
12 players, yeah.
12 players, so, 59 games.
Wolves are in a bit of a weird spot. It's keen to talk about this right after Space Marines. So Space Wolves are a Space Marine chapter without +1 to wound oath, right? So that is not ideal. Wolves need to do something really well. So like the Wolf thing is that they have unique melee infantry that is very good, right? And our gun pieces are never as good as Codex Space Marine gun pieces, but we still have to play them at the end of the day, right? Wolves are a list that I personally am working on. I refuse to accept that they are bad. I think there's something there, okay? Because they have really good melee infantry, and hidden is a rule.
Yeah,
that has to work, right? Like that has to work. I'm looking at exploring stuff like Wolfen again. I mean, they're 4-up invul, no real armor save, so they pick up the new cover changes really quite well, right? And they're fast, which is also really good on the new terrain.
Plenty of vehicles for them to hit.
TCAV, I think TCAV are just bad now, to be honest. I think this is also like something that's really affecting the Space Wolf win rate, is that mounted as a keyword is like super lame, and you're not getting hidden is super lame. So
you kind of have to play Stormlands, and Stormlands is 3 cost for them.
Even then, dude, I can only strat one of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's why you put one out there.
Yeah,
get the overcommitment.
I can't hide them. That's the problem. Like I'm finding that even deploying them, I can hide like one, and that is like the other two just have to like deploy. They just deploy on the line, and like pray to God I get to go first, right? So, I don't know. I think the TCAF hit is right there. I'm fairly confident there's some melee skew build with like a bunch of Wolfen or head takers or Terminators or something along those lines that is good. But I'll keep trying.
It was funny in my fundamentals masterclass. Somebody had asked about Space Wolves, and so I wrote up a list that was similar to or like inspired by the Poland archetype.
I remember that one.
Year.
Yeah.
So I posted up this list, and then Michael's in there. He's like,
and
I was like, yeah. just
there
has
come
up with ideas, yeah.
Yeah, I think they are a good elite infantry army, and there has to be something you have to pivot and go somewhere else. Like the current combo I'm working on is Saga of the Great Wolf plus Champions of Fenris, the heroic one. I think the more I'm playing 11th, the more I'm discovering that heroic is very, very powerful. And being able to heroic multiple times, I think, is also going to be very powerful. So I think that's. Stay tuned to the Discord as I work on this science. Okay,
Michael Science.
I have played 2 games with it so far, and I won them, and they were good. So I'll take it.
We got the Adeptus Mechanicus coming in here at 43.75%, 7 players, 32 games total. This one feels a little bit low for me personally. This could be due to the fact that people are experimenting with the older detachments from the Codex because they became 2 DP and they can add in a strong 1 DP either through the Cohort Inquisitus or more likely the Lords of the Forge. And so could be that people are experimenting with new rules. I think the ability to be in Protector with heavy and +1 ballistic skill is one of the stronger shooting archetypes that you can run in the game. Of course, we have really good lone ops like Call, and then Thulia is much more competitive now. I'm excited to see, I've been cooking up a lot of ideas with AdMech. This could be the fact that people have stuck with Halo Screed and Eradication cohort and are playing Purge the Foe and finding out that one of our strengths, the amount of units we can run, the cheap units, can be a downside in that. So interested to dig into that data a little bit more, but I've been very happy with my AdMech games. So I still think they're very strong, and this is probably a little on the low side.
Yeah, I was curious.
They are hard to play. They are hard to play, to be fair. And you have to lean into shooting. The more you lean into combat, unfortunately, our combat just isn't quite as good as the rest of the game right now. Dark Angels does surprise me. 40% win rate, 14 players, 65 games. Dark Angels have 2 of the better 1 DP detachments that exist from the 11th edition release.
Yeah.
In addition to that, they take the changes with Librarius Conclave extremely well.
They do.
Inner Circle Companions plus a Librarian is kind of an insane unit for the cost. It is very likely that perhaps people are experimenting with Ravenwing stuff, or they're trying to mostly play like a vehicle style or something. But I think that Inner Circle Companion spam build feels really strong when you ally in the Stern Guard and do the 4-up invuln spam. Dark Angels do that really, really well.
Yeah, Dark Angels from Teams from the past weekend were the only Space Marine faction that wasn't Ultramarines that people were kind of willing to go for.
Wrath of the Rock, I saw.
It did decently well. Yeah. I remember it had a good win rate and a decent pick rate as well. So I think they're the number 1 Ultramarine alternative at the moment, which is cool.
Because they can shoot as hard, but they also have great melee.
Yeah.
Better melee than normal Space Marines. Then World Eaters here coming in at 39.19, 15 players, 74 games. World Eaters definitely feel like they have struggled with the transition from 10 to 11, and all the people are saying it's a melee edition. It's really a combined arms edition, as they usually are. You don't want most of your, or entirely, to be combat, because if you fail charges in the edition, which they're a little bit harder to make, you just lose games from doing that. You don't want to fail charges. And World Eaters don't have that layer of shooting to really rely on. The -1 ballistic skill, because they're 1 worse ballistic skill base than most other Chaos armies, they struggle a lot.
They're shooting like an Orc now.
Shooting like an Orc.
Yeah.
And that is not consistent enough to really be worth the points that they're running. So it doesn't surprise me that World Eaters are struggling a little bit here. Could also be, once again, experimentation. The Berserker Warband still is an incredible detachment and buffs every data sheet to the hilt in terms of combat prowess. And it could be that the experimentation is bringing down the win rate here. Guard, 37.97, 16 players, 79. I've seen the comments. I've read all the comments. Guard infantry went up. Yes, it did. Is that stopping the number 1 Guard player in the world? No, it's not. He still thinks it's one of the strongest armies in the game. In addition to that, they also have amazing 1 DP detachments. Tucker's been really liking the Abhuman style, whereas other people have been enjoying the Scions detachment. And those Scions rip. If you aren't running 10 Scions plus 5 guys with the command squad, try it. That unit is one of the strongest out there. And you're probably going to run 2 of those at least in many lists.
Yeah, I think this is fake. Crucify me all
sorry,
you want.
Sorry,
I think Guard
your
is
army's good. It is not easy to play.
It,
I'll give you that. It's not easy to play. It's easy to get your army tied up, and there's not many ways to fall back.
I think Guard is good, though.
But Guard, try out a build with a ton of really cheap las cannons. Even if they're hitting on 5s, that's a lot of shots.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots.
You're just killing vehicles.
Yeah.
Guard really like the cover change offensively because they have multiple ways to ignore cover and then stack.
They do actually, yeah.
Imperial Agents coming in at
37.5.
3 wins total, 8 games, 2 players,
2 heroes.
2 heroes out there. They're still doing it. They're still probably purging the foe out there with their agents' armies. Not a surprise here. Of course, we've mentioned a handful of times it just is a very difficult army to play, and it was given 0 love by Games Workshop, unfortunately. So hopefully they'll come back and at least give them dispositions that they can play or manipulate some of these detachment costs.
Giving them 3 DP across the board was cringe. That was just like...
And purge the foe. They have more purge than many armies.
It was stupid. It was just dumb. Like, I don't... Just try.
I'm going to purge you with my assassins, Michael. How about that?
I just make them all 1. I don't know. Like, nothing bad will happen. Like, okay, maybe something bad will happen. Just don't do that. I didn't think about it logically first.
It's Death Guard. Bottom.
This I don't get.
56 games, 12 players, same win rate as Agents. It is a Defiler army. Are people just not running the Defiler? What's going on? They are killy. -1 save is incredible.
The logic I can think of, if I really want to think through, like, what are the weaknesses Death Guard take on the transition to 11th, right? So stuff like the Heavy Blight Launcher is a lot worse now, right? Because it is a drone that just hits on 4s with, like, it will ignore cover if a Defiler shoots it first, but, like, you can't have that all the time, right? Then their infantry are slow, and that is bad in the current world, but they're tough. They're, like, really durable, right? So you would think that kind of would work out fine. They still have a Defiler. The Defiler is good. They have a good Defiler, so I don't really understand that one. Death Shroud, I will say 6-inch Deep Strike is a lot stronger than it was, but the fact that you have to roll a 7 now, that's a significant math change.
Easier to place, but harder to make the charge.
Yeah, it's like way harder to make the charge. The rapid ingress is like a little bit stronger now. I don't remember where they landed on the FAQ for whether they can 6-inch Deep Strike or whatever, how it works. But
I can in Warpbane, which has a similar strat.
Yeah, so I don't know where they ended up on that. And then I don't know where the ruling was over the weekend in terms of, I know for ATC, they didn't let you do the double leading because they said that was a 10th edition rule. I don't know if they did that for Death Guard. I think for Death Guard, they were allowed to double lead because they have 0 support characters, but they have the Fetid Virion rule. To me, is clearly intended to work that way. So maybe there's some weird FAQs going on in there. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is true. Maybe this is just a true win rate in Death Guard. I don't think 37 is a true win rate. Maybe Death Guard are just not as strong as like our impressions can be, right? I mean, that happens plenty of times. But maybe just being this slow is just bad in this world. Like, you just can't be that slow anymore.
Could be.
I mean, think of what the good armies are. They're all fast.
Yeah,
right?
or you have to gravitate more towards the solo bloatrones, the regular ones, and then you add in some Rhino packages, just get up the board with your Defilers, and you just play anything that moves 10 inches plus.
Yeah, so we'll have to... This is that army I'm going to have to wait and watch. It's weird.
Yeah, just weird. Terminator spam builds are also worse defensively because of the cover change.
Yes, that is true. That's just why... I mean, speaking of Space Wolves, actually... is why I'm down to 1 Wolfguard Terminator unit, so I can bring REAX squad. But I won't take any more than that right now because I'm finding that just 2-up saves at the moment. 2-up infantry very specifically because it's easier to wound, is really struggling with a lot of the new damage changes. I'm finding that 2-up infantry are just like...
All those random AP1 weapons that used to do nothing actually chip off wounds.
Actually chip off your wound now, right?
Yeah. So. All right, well, that is going to be the stats overall for this second weekend of 11th edition and kind of our opinions on them. And now we're going to do a quick little synopsis of ATC, which had a 5-man and an 8-man event. And we'll just kind of look at the top placings. So Team Battle Brothers won the 5-man, and then Team Nemesis won the 8-mans. And let's look at the top 5 players of each one, see what factions they were gravitating towards.
Yes. So opening, do you want to find just a top 5 player placings?
Yeah, just the player placings.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So you're on the 5-man. All right, let me go to the 5-man real quick. Cool. I'm working. I went to the 8-man. Actually, Mark, can you click the 8-man team event instead? Do you have that one open? Let's do that one. My phone is going to explode if I have to switch. So
Michael has the phone of an orc. We got to get him an upgrade. He's put all his upgrades and his money into his hair. The phone is trash.
I tried to press the back button. And
it's a big mech phone.
I was not interested in doing that. Okay, so we have some familiar names up here in the top. So at the first player, we have, I'm going to say this name wrong. I'm sorry. Malachi. It's Malachi, guys. That's how Malachi's spelled. I play Warhammer, guys. So they're playing Thousand Suns. Give me 2 seconds to log into my BSB account. Face ID. I don't want to say my password. Okay, got it. All right, so we are playing. What do you know? Hexbot's my true beloved.
Yeah.
In Take and Hold. I did notice this throughout the weekend. A lot of people are playing Hexbox and Take and Hold. I'm switching this. I'll be honest. I actually think this army is better in priority assets. But what do they actually have? They have Armon, Exalted Sorcerer with the Res guys, Sorcerer, 2 Termy Sorcerers, which I'm gonna spoiler alert. That's gonna mean 20 Scarab Cult Terminators. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is like kind of my build, except instead of Magnus, we basically have 12 robots. Cool. And then 20 Scarab Cult Terminators, and we have the Imperial Consult Sorcerer. And then we take Armon. Yeah, this is really good. No Defilers.
Do you think this is taking advantage of the ruling or the way in which teams works, where the defender gets to pick the board choice as well as first deploy an infiltrate unit? Or do you think this is more of an attacking army?
I think what's cool about it is Armon makes that style a little bit more interesting. Actually, no, at ATC they didn't do that.
Oh, they didn't.
They rolled off. They rolled off for the. Okay, they rolled off.
So you
for
couldn't
it.
guarantee it.
That's why. Or at least that's what I heard. Yes, I think Armon is really strong for that, right? Because what I used to do when I would play some robots and say like Warpforge or something is you just like throw all your robots in the middle of the table, and then you're just like, okay, Armon, I'm just gonna, because robots have this really weird thing where you cannot recklessly infiltrate them, because if they die for free, like you're super depressed, like you're super sad. However, Armon lets you like infiltrate them as aggressively as possible without dying, right? Because you just like pick the spot that you don't die in, right? And you usually put them in the right spot. So I was trying Armon. I like Armon in a hidden world, right? Having a sorcerer that's like +1 cast that can like fly around and be hidden in, technically lone op if you just like stick him behind a building or whatever. I think it's good. Mm-hmm. Armon's biggest problem is they never had lone operative, right? Because he just died.
Yeah, he'd have to go with a unit, or he'd get sniped out.
That was his biggest problem. So I like this list quite a bit. I might try it. I think it's cool. Oh no, it's making me sign in again. Because my phone, please let me in. Please let me in. No, I don't want to save my password. No, I lost. Okay, hold on, guys. Richard Stahl. I got to get back to the event.
It's all right.
Richard, talk to the
So
people.
Folger was second, and I already know what his list is. So he was playing Necrons with Awakened Dynasty. So he was playing Take and Hold style as well. So 2 Take and Hold styles at the top. And he was playing the King. He had, I believe, Necrosor, Illuminator Xeris. He also had 3 Scorpec Lords, 3 Scorpec units, and a smattering of other. He had the Locust Lord with the Enmitic unit, and I think a smattering of other cheap units, but like 10 warriors. So very much relying on the fact that attached character units are way more durable now, because you shoot enough shots into the unit. Yeah, you killed the 3 Scorpec destroyers. 4-up invuln, all the 4-ups go on the Scorpec Lord. He survives. He then heals back models over time. So you really have to over-dedicate to kill this like 175-point unit. And then you have durable lone ops in form of Illuminator Xeris, who can do actions for you, just control space, tie up the enemy. You got Necrosor buffing, giving out that sustained. And then the Emitic unit comes down and blows up whatever horde unit that they have. So he had the Void Dragon as well for 1 Catan, anti-vehicle tech. So between him and the King, you can kill vehicles, and between everything else, you kill their scoring pieces and their midfield units. Really strong list. I tried out Awakened Dynasty a couple weeks ago, and then I tried out Obeisance Phalanx as well. I think both of those play I'm going to hold down my half of the board and then push through turns 3 onward and really kind of jam up your opponent. Yeah. I really like the archetype. Whether you go for the Void Dragon versus the other ones, I think because Necrons, our anti-tank is very inconsistent. He's a very consistent anti-tank piece. He's coming into the list instead of like DDAs or some of the other options.
Next up, I have Durante, our Tau fanatic. Okay, so
Go Tau!
Okay, so the name of his list, maybe you'll understand this joke. My railgun has 2 shots, but now it's 11th edition. I don't. Is this a Tau joke?
So he used to play Kalyan, and then he would play the railgun, the Hammerhead, and try and roll the 6 on the 1 shot to get 2 shots. Nice. Now, instead of Hammerhead, he is bringing the Storm Surge because he's playing Monka, and it has 2 flat 12 damage shots.
Oh, I see. Is there a Storm Surge?
Yes.
I'm scrolling. Where is the Storm?
It's at the bottom.
Oh,
it's
I
the
see
last
now.
unit.
Storm Surge is 360 points? It's 360 points?
Okay, it can't fall back and shoot, and it moves 8 inches. But in Monka, it's playable because you can flat 6 advance it in the first 3 turns and shoot it.
Okay, honestly, so
you scout at 6, and then you move at 14.
There's not a lot crazy here. It's Monka, it's Purge, you have the Twin Lance, you have Dark Strider, Ethereal, Starscythe battle units, Pathfinder, Piranhas, Broadsides, 3 times Broadsides. Oh, can you put 3 Broadsides in 1 unit?
Yes.
Oh, actually, I always see them as 2-mans.
That's because you didn't play me in the Streamhouse RTT, Michael.
That's true.
I had the 3-man missile side unit.
I did not.
So he's got the 3-man missile unit that can rip up what tanks or not. If you saw the Streamhouse RTT, I was 1-tapping Defilers with it. It's amazing in Monka, but it does often want the flat 6 advance, so you have a competition between the Storm Surge and the missile sides here. But because you can tow into terrain, it's easier to use them than it was previously.
And then 2 Riptides, the Storm Surge, Stealth Battle Suit.
The really good thing about the Storm Surge is that all its weapons are heavy, including its little weapons. So what you do is you jam it up 14, you get Plunging Fire on it. It ignores hit modifiers from its data sheet rule. You then get +1 ballistic skill from guiding. So now your ballistic skill 3, +1 to hit, or plus another +1 ballistic skill from Plunging Fire. And then so you're hitting on 2s. If it's a stealth suit guide, you're rerolling 1s to hit, 1s to wound. And all of a sudden, you are basically the most efficient that Tau can be. It's very hard to get things hitting on 2s, but because it accesses Plunging Fire by shooting something within 12, it's very, very strong.
Oh, I forgot about Plunging Fire too. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
It shoots very hard, and then it's a 4-up invuln, it's higher toughness than a Riptide, and you can -1 damage it for 2 CP in Monka, so it's very good. I actually am painting the one on my desk.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Good list.
Next up we have we're gonna go to 7 and stop at Nemo because we're gonna stop at Nemo. No, if we're going to 4 first, Mark. Sorry, I tricked you. So number 1, okay, EC. This is gonna be Purge the EC. Okay, this list is actually a little neat. So it's Court of the Phoenician plus Frenzied Host.
Yep, not Carnival.
Yep. Lord Exultant Fractors. It gets more exciting, I promise. Demon Prince with Wings with Soul Stain Made Manifest. No idea what that enhancement is. But has Fulgrim. Fulgrim. And Infractor, Tormentor, Chaos Rhino, Defiler, Noise Marine. A lot of stuff for a Purge the Foe list. But Fulgrim is interesting to me because his fights first is so much worse now.
But he picks -1 to hit instead now. So he's -1 ballistic skill from cover, -1 to hit.
Very good anti-shooting piece.
So he can soak for the army while everything else tables you.
Yeah, I think this is just like a neat list. Now, EC don't have a lot of units, so of course it never looks that cool. But Fulgrim in a Purge the Foe build with the -2, that is actually kind of neat. Now we're going to go to Space Wolves because I want to know what the Space Wolf list. I'm going to guess it's Stormlights. Oh, no, it's taken hold. Oh. Okay, so Saga the Great Wolf plus Legends of Saga and Song. This is the Terminator style of Space Wolves. Yeah, it's number 5 right there, Mark. Yep. And then this list is going to have Bjorn the Fell-Handed, a Captain Terminator with Grimnar's Mark, Logan Grimnar, Murderfang. I love Murderfang. Intercessors, a 6-man Inceptor squad. Interesting. A Reaver
really
squad. Like yeah, I can see it too. Yep. A Scout squad. A Terminator Assault squad. Interesting. A Venerable Dreadnought. Wolfguard Terminators. And Wolfen with Storm. This man is a man after my heart. He understands that. He understands the 10-man Wolfen unit. The 10-man Wolfen unit is so good. Actually, this list is really interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff about this. So we're taking the Captain Terminator Mark. So the Grimnar's Mark used to let you lead Wolfguard Terminators, but they took that away. What I'm seeing now a lot is this Terminator Assault Squad unit because it's just so dang cheap. And it's, $355. You get a character. The Legend of Saga and Song and Legend of the Saga of the Great Wolf. It mostly doesn't matter if you're a Space Wolf keyword or not. There's a couple strats that matter, but the 1DP Legend of Saga and Song only cares that you're Adeptus Astartes Infantry Terminator unit, which is good, right? So also the Terminator gives you reroll charges, I believe, and the detachment inherently gives you +1 to charges, so you can come out of deep strike, go for 8 re-rolling. Still not ideal, but
even an Ingress plus, and then if you're right in front of your opponent, it's hard to fail.
I'll be honest, I think this list is cool. It's in Take and Hold, which is what Space Wolves are going to play. You're going to notice a lot of these tough melee armies are just going to keep doing that. So we're going to go to Steve Pamperine playing Reconnaissance Orks. I don't know what this is. Speedwa, more DACA. All right, let's
Speedwa, baby.
I'm just gonna read.
Michael was gonna play Speedwa at Challengers Cup last year.
This Cult of Speed. Speedwa is actually the new one.
Oh, Speedwa's the new one.
The 24 inches in a straight line. Which totally thinking about recon actually is a good rule. But I was gonna play Cult of Speed at Challengers Cup until they dropped the data slate, and then it nerfed my army.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it didn't technically nerf my army. What it did was it nerfed all the armies I was prepped to kill, so I couldn't kill them anymore. Okay, so recon, we have a big micro shock attack gun, a Death Killer Wartrike, leading. Oh, I see. We put in parenthesis what we're leading here. This is a very creative way to write this. The shock attack gun's leading Tank Bustas. The Death Killer Wartrike is leading 6 bikes. We got Solo Mech, Wazdaka. You always bring Wazdaka. Those guys just cracked. 3 trucks, Big Mech Docker Rig, Def Copta, Flash Kit. Each with the dead shiny shooters. What this does is this gives them rapid fire 1. I don't know how this enhancement actually interact. No, it works just fine because their extra shot ability isn't rapid fire 1. You just get an extra shot. So this means their flash kits, and within 12 inches will be 5 shots, which is a lot. That is a lot of shots.
And AP1 is way better.
And AP1 is way stronger now. Flash kits in general are a lot better. They're very cheap right now too. Gretchen, Kill Rig, Tank Bustas, and then the Warbikers. There are so many. There's a lot going on here.
A lot of units.
Not a lot of Speed Freak units to actually take advantage of the Move 24. Are trucks Speed Freak keyword? Let me look actually, because Speedwa, and if your trucks are Speed Freak keyword, then that means like you can just move the truck 24 and guarantee your recon points. Not Speed Freak keyword. Okay. So the only things we're using is on the bikers and the Def Coptas. That is kind of it.
Well, I think the main thing that we're seeing here is the list diversity that I had mentioned earlier on.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much off the charts. Like, you can be as creative as you want to, and if you play it well, doesn't matter what disposition, what you've come up with, like, you tailor to what your play style is and come up with a concept that works for it, and it's really good.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'll be honest, this is not a list I would have come up with, but clearly it did well. It scored points, right? So there's no problem. And actually, I saw this guy's run. He beat 2 actually good players. He beat Ganyo and he beat someone else that were actually quite good. So
Steve's a long time very good player. Do you want to do Nemo as the last?
Nemo's the last one. He was the last one.
Let's do it. So for you guard players,
for these guys, we got to talk about the good guard list for the guard players. Okay, so Mr. Wesley St. Hines, also known as Nemo the Fish, is playing. You guessed it. Recon element in the reconnaissance.
Can't stop him.
The reconnaissance disposition. So, Cadian Castellan, Cadian Command Squad, Cadian Shock Troops. Next, Tempestus Squad, Tempestus Scions.
It's the 10-man bricks, right?
These are... Dude, I'm reading these are impossible. Something like that. I don't know.
So how many points is the brick?
155 plus 85.
It's 10 guys plus the command squad.
Then... Tempestus Command Squad plus Tempestus Lions. Gaunt's Ghost. Gaunt's Ghost are 95 points. That is cheap. Lord Marshal Dreer. I don't even know who that is.
He's the Krieg name character who stands back up on a 2-up. He's being used as an action.
That's a good rule these days. Yeah. All right. Ogre Battle Guard Bodyguard. Ursula Creed. Death Corps of Krieg. Cadian Recon Squad.
These
Cadian
are the brand new
Squad.
unit. They're like 5 more points than 10 Cadians, so you just take it to infiltrate them.
9 Catachan heavy weapon squads, all with las cannons. We are still going. Krieg Combat Engineer, Krieg Heavy Weapon Squad. Oh, I see. We have 9 more heavy weapon squads.
18 heavy weapons.
And a Scout Sentinel. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to read 5 more comments that 10 guardsmen, his name is 10 Orc. Whatever, dude. Guys, like, I just read so many units. Look, and he won all his games still. Like, I know Nemo's a very talented 40k player. Blah 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 blah. I don't care. Like, that army is good. It's just good.
It's just good. Yeah, guards still have plenty of options, and that's not the only style that I think can do well. I know Tucker's been doing the Abhuman style, and there's still tank spam builds that can do well because you can get mechanized or hammer the Emperor.
Oh, I just saw in the chat the detachment rule for speed is Speed Freak or truck unit. That's what I was thinking of. So you can move the trucks 24 inches. That's cool. Okay.
That's very fast.
Yeah, that's actually very, very fast. So it helps you with recon quite a bit. Yeah, dude, guard's still good. You know, Nemo, whatever.
But
Continue.
Yeah. The fundamentally, the thing here that we really want to emphasize is that list design is just wide open. If you're excited about a concept, run it, play it. Doesn't matter what the disposition is. If you care about a disposition because it fits your playstyle, build a list to do it, just like that orc list or the guard list or whatnot. So
cool.
This is the most exciting because, like I said, it feels like a couple of years ago where you would look at like 5 top players playing the same army and be 5 totally different archetypes. And that's the exciting part about 40K is there's more emphasis on the individual list design. So like right now, new edition, tons of different attachments, the game's wide open, and that makes me really excited. I have my list, the list in my phone, you just have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling because I have so many different options.
Yeah, I've written so many lists. I'm trying to figure out stuff. And what's cool too is there's so many like builds I'm just excited to play.
Yeah,
in general,
there's not enough time in the day for me to play. We're stuck in front of cameras instead of playing games. You guys think we only play games? We're in front of cameras saying hello and having a great time.
I definitely play less games than you probably think I do.
Yeah, scripting,
and I think
that's going to lead us into the super chats. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you did super chat, we're going to go ahead and answer those now. If you do have any questions for us, we're going to answer them. But in the meanwhile, as we get that set up, thank you so much for joining us. Please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow. In addition, if you want to see all of our competitive battle reports and theory videos and all the awesome content we put out for 11th edition, check out our war room at thewarroom.vhx.tv where there's a 3-day free trial, or click the join button here on YouTube. Gold tier gets you access to every single members video we put out.
And let's get into super chats. The first one is going to be Red Rum 923. Thank you. Can we get a Art of War shampoo with Michael's face on it? Yes, you can. You know what you do? Hold on.
Does anybody own a shampoo company?
I'm like brain blasting right now.
Can hook us up?
So here's what you can do. Okay, we make a new thing to give away. We give away dice right now. What if instead we make travel shampoo bottles with my face on the front, and on the back it takes you to the war room, and we give it out at events. This is revolutionary.
Can we name it Ed Banger?
What? Yes. There we go.
Ed Banger.
Guys, this is coming to an event near you soon. Next up, we have Ryan G 6931, $5. Thank you very much. Is there any chance of us getting a charity stream where Siegs braids Michael's hair to look like Sarah Kerrigan? What does her hair look like?
It's long braids going down her head with spikes.
Because my hair's not that long.
It's kind of like low.
It's like, it means long, but it's not that long. Well, I've thought about it. Okay, I've thought about doing something with the hair. I've thought about it. It could be good content, guys. It could be good content. I'm all about the content. Next, we have Jack the Ripper 6928, $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Siegs, I've been to 5 different videos on cover, line of sight, and terrain. The producers are getting things wrong. The comments are all arguing with proof. Could you please make an in-depth video covering this? Did we not do that?
I believe that we did.
That's the terrain video, right?
Yes, we did do it. So you can go back a couple weeks ago and check out the terrain video. And if you have any specific questions for us, let us know in the Discord. We have a whole rules section that has some of the top rules minds and judges and TOs in there. So you can go ahead and post in there as well if there's specific things that are unclear.
Yeah. And then JNA0709, thank you for upgrading your membership to Warm Gold. And then next up we have, I can't quite read that one, Mark. Christian. All right, Christian, member for 50 months. Wow, that's a very long time. That's a very long time.
Very much appreciate it.
Hey guys, the new Outrider box has me excited that we Space Marines may finally get their biker characters again. Hoping to have a librarian on bike again. Did they take away a bunch of biker librarian characters? I don't know.
So yeah, you didn't play it. You
I'm
played 8th
young,
edition. Was the first?
9th.
So yeah, you didn't play back in like 5th edition, 6th edition. You can customize characters. So there was a librarian bike character, an apothecary bike character, chaplain. Well, we have the chaplain on bike, the Primaris version. Was there another character? There's a tech marine on bike that used to be able to run with unique weapon options like the conversion beamer. So all those had existed up until like 8th edition, I think. And then they started taking away models that didn't have kits around that time.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So, but I would definitely be hyped about seeing those. Bikes are cool. Maybe they'll be jet bikes. That'd be sweet.
Jet bikes would
I like
be cool.
jet bikes.
And then last but not least, we have, I'm going to try really hard. Jwaishneed 793. Thank you and welcome to the War Room Gold. And I think that's the end of the line for Super Chats.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Leave us a comment below letting us know what you think of the stats, as well as how you're feeling about your army. If you come up with any cool ideas like the ones we talked about for ATC. Otherwise, we will see you next week with plenty more content. And if you have any ideas for content that you're excited about, just like that cover video, we had done a cover video. But if you're excited about other things or just want more information, let us know in the comments. We are always looking for new video ideas, and we have a lot more videos coming up for you. Look forward to that tier list, that full faction tier list coming very soon.
And then Ricky67 snuck in on the way out with the super chat, $10. Thank you so much. Michael Mann Corno Fund.
Cornrow.
I don't know about cornrows, guys. All right.
Cornflakes.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. So.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. We're going to send you off for a preview of or a commercial for our War Room services. Thank you so much.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my Warhammer gameplay, it disgusted me. I crave the confidence and knowledge of experts. I aspire to the positivity and excellence of Art of War. Do not cling to the falsehoods of blaming dice and the weakness of your faction. Join Art of War and take your Warhammer journey to the next level.